Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really clever solution for one of the biggest challenges in AI coding, getting it right on the first try. It's an approach called MCRAG, and it's built on a principle that's, absolutely central to all great software development: teamwork. And honestly, this might just change how we think about AI writing our code.
So if you've ever used an AI to help you code, you totally know this feeling. You give it a prompt, and what you get back is, well, it's often close, but it's not quite right, is it? It might have these subtle bugs, or miss some really important edge cases, or maybe it's just not very efficient. Getting perfect code on the first try is the dream, but let's be honest, it's rarely the reality.
And that's really the core idea behind MCARG. Instead of just relying on a single AI to do everything, what if you could put together an entire AI development team? A team where one AI writes the initial code, and others step in to act like experienced senior developers, reviewing every single line just like they would in a real-world code review. So yeah, this is MCRAG, which stands for Multi-Code Review and Generation. At its heart, it's a really intelligent system designed around a simple but powerful principle from human software development: collaboration. It's not about getting it perfect in one shot. It's all about a cycle of generating, reviewing, and refining to get to a truly high-quality result.
Okay, so who's actually on this AI dream team? Let's meet the players. The whole system is built around three very distinct roles, and each one has a super specific job to do.
First up, you've got the generator. This is your main coder, right? It takes your prompt and spits out the first draft. Then you have two critics. Think of critic number one as your super meticulous, detail-oriented senior dev. They're checking for bugs, style issues, best practices, all that good stuff. Critic number two is more of an architect, the out-of-the-box thinker who questions the whole approach and might suggest a completely different, more elegant way to do things. It's this balance between precision and a fresh perspective that makes the system so strong.
Now, what's really fascinating is how this team actually works together. It's not just a chaotic free-for-all. It's a highly structured, step-by-step process. Let's walk through the workflow.
So it all kicks off when the generator produces that initial piece of code. That code then gets passed to our two critics, who look at it independently and come back with detailed feedback. Now here's the really crucial part. The generator doesn't just blindly apply the changes. It actually reads both critiques, thinks about the suggestions, and then makes a plan to incorporate the best ideas. Only then does it refine the code into a new version. This whole cycle can repeat, getting smarter and better with each loop until the code is considered rock solid.
All right, theory is great, but let's see what this actually looks like in practice. We're going to simulate a run of the MCRAG system, so you can really see how this collaborative process builds better code right from the start.
So we're going to give our AI team a task that seems simple on the surface, but it's one of those things that often trips up junior developers and, even single AIs. Let's see how they handle it.
The prompt is super straightforward. Create a function to validate an email address. Sounds easy, right? But there are a ton of hidden complexities and edge cases to think about. Let's see what the generator comes up with on its first pass.
Okay, here we go. Round one. The generator produces a very basic function. It's the kind of thing you'd expect from a quick first try. It pretty much only checks if there's an @ symbol in there. I mean, it's a start, but it would let a whole lot of bad emails get through. And just like that, our critics jump all over it. Their feedback is sharp and super specific. Hey, it's missing a check for a period in the domain, it doesn't handle what happens if someone puts in multiple @ symbols, and there's absolutely no error handling. This is exactly the kind of direct feedback a senior developer would give.
Now the generator takes that feedback to heart and refines the code. And check this out, the second version is way more robust. It now correctly checks for both the @ and the period. The critics take another look. Their feedback this time is way more positive. They're calling it a high-quality solution. They make one last pretty minor suggestion about making sure the domain part isn't empty, but they decide no more major changes are needed. Because the feedback turned positive, the system is smart enough to say, okay, we're done here, and it stops the cycle.
And this just perfectly illustrates the power of this whole process. We didn't get this solid, well-checked piece of code on the first try. We got it through a structured cycle of creation and critique. It's not just about generating code anymore. It's about engineering quality code through a team of specialist AIs.
So this demo is pretty cool, but what's the bigger picture here? Why does this whole collaborative approach actually matter for the future of building software? Well, it matters because MCRAG isn't just trying to write code that works, it's trying to write code that is good. Success is measured across this whole spectrum of professional standards. The evaluation looks at functionality, of course, but it also looks at code quality, how complete it is, efficiency, and even proper error handling and documentation. It's a truly complete picture of what makes great software.
When you get right down to it, MCRAG is a big shift from just generating code to actually engineering it. It mimics the best practices of human teams, peer review and constant improvement, to produce something of a much higher quality. So it kind of leaves us with this really powerful question to think about. What if every single piece of AI-generated code was automatically put through an expert review process before you even laid eyes on it? What would that mean for the quality and the reliability of the software we build every single day?